So we're all often asked, what inspires you? What work inspires you? What filmmakers inspire you? And I will say overall, it's filmmakers who think outside the box, who are doing their own style, who aren't worried about fitting in and doing it the right way, and, are very authentic. So a couple of those are people like Guy Maddin. So Guy Maddin's a filmmaker from Canada. He's probably mostly known for Saddest Music in the World. That was probably his biggest film, along with My Winnipeg, might be one or the other. My Winnipeg is fascinating because it's a documentary about Winnipeg, but it's told in Guy Manner style. But it's told in Guy Maddin style. So when you watch the film, you're like, oh, this is Winnipeg, right? These are facts about Winnipeg. And then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, this sounds invented. And he takes you on his own personal journey of what Winnipeg is, how he sees it. It's not about facts. It's about feeling, and it's about his perspective of it. And it's fun, and I highly recommend it. And all of his films, though, have a crazy unique style that's kind of influenced by like the silent film era. I mean, you just have to watch them to understand, because you can hear his voice not only in his speaking, because he narrates a lot of his films, but also in his visuals. You turn it on, that's a Guy Maddin film. You want to get a quick taste of a Guy Maddin film, you can look on YouTube for a film called Nightmare, because that will really show you his style. It's quite incredible, and a lot of it is around how it's edited. Another filmmaker that's always inspired me is Fellini, because he also has a very unique voice, and his films, like Juliet of the Spirits, take chances. They put unrealistic things in a realistic environment, and again, he's showing how that world feels. Okay, he's showing how he imagines it being, even though it's not set up as an imaginary thing in the film. And then it comes around to people ask, well, that's great that they inspire you, but how do watching films like that change the way you make films? And what it does, I think, is it subconsciously just opens up your mind. And you can see the influence of different filmmakers in their work. Certainly in Detention 101, you can see the influence of Guy Maddin in my film. I'm not saying it's a Guy Maddin film at all, or it's a, whatever. It's not his kind of film. You wouldn't look at it and say, I think this is a Guy Maddin film. But you can see the influence of it, because I think as you watch stuff and as you see it over and over, it changes sort of how your brain operates. It's very fascinating how creativity works in your head, and you become influenced on the level of how you start putting things together. So those films have always, I think, brought out those types of movies that I was speaking of, have brought out not being afraid to do something different, not being afraid to break the rules, so to speak. Not that there really are rules, but feels like there's rules in filmmaking, because we're all taught structure, right? That's how you learn. You learn by understanding a formula and a format and how things go, but then you need to break away from that. And I think watching films where people have broken away from that and have found their own voice and haven't just made cookie cutter movies and reinvented the same thing all the time, and really shown something from their perspective, like Amarcord by Fellini is just, it's going to live through time forever, because it's so personal and yet so universal, because it's authentic. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Still want to hear about the films that influence you. So let me know what those are. I'm curious.